Hello, it's now 3 p.m. Hanoi time and welcome to the newscast. My name is Dai Chang and here check out our headlines for this hour. Ceremony to mark the 70th anniversary of the Tân Trào National People's Congress, which then led up to the August Revolution. Training session on natural disaster prevention organized to improve responsiveness in emergency situations. And Vietnamese artists tried to modernize gió paper, a traditional material, in their contemporary paintings in order to preserve it. We start with the top news. A ceremony took place this morning in Tân Trào Square of Tuyên Quang Province to mark the 70th anniversary of the Tân Trào National People Congress. Speaking at the ceremony, National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng stressed the historical significance of the National People's Congress held on August 16, 1945, in the lead-up to the August Revolution on August 19th and Vietnam's Declaration of Independence on September 2nd of the same year. Back then, the two-day Tân Trào National People's Congress had concluded with the call for a national uprising to gain independence. The national flag and anthem were also chosen at the gathering. Tân Trào is situated in Sơn Dương District, 41 kilometers from the center of Tuyên Quang town. Historically, it was also once the home of Uncle Ho, along with the central agencies in the pre-insurrection period and in the war against the French. Now, amnesty preparations for Vietnam National Day are now underway across the country. Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc, chairman of the Central Advisory Council on Amnesty, is on a working visit to various southern localities to check preparations for prisoner clemency in this region. On Saturday, the Deputy Prime Minister visited Xuyên Mộc Prison in Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu Province, which has planned to release 258 prisoners. The Deputy Prime Minister praised the prison staff in education and management, especially in the dissemination of the upcoming amnesty. This year, pardons will be granted to around 16 to 17,000 prisoners on September 2nd, Vietnam's 70th National Day. This will be the largest amount of prisoners released to date. Vietnam typically grants amnesty to prisoners on major national holidays, including the Lunar New Year and Reunification Day. As we have said, amnesty preparations for Vietnam's National Day are now underway across the country. In Hậu Giang Southern Province, the number of prisoners qualified for pardons has increased. The preparations for prisoner clemency in this region have been implemented very strictly and carefully to ensure transparency. Local leaders of Canh Nam Prison in Hậu Giang Province have announced the news of national amnesty to all the prisoners. They have also submitted a list of prisoners qualified for pardons. The final decision on release will be announced by the end of August this year.
Tới giờ phút này thì hội đồng đã xét và đề nghị cho tất cả phạm nhân có đủ.
The Council has reviewed and submitted a list of prisoners eligible for special amnesty. We have submitted the evaluation to the police department. We also support prisoners to make phone calls to their families to complete their documents for the amnesty.
This year, pardons will be granted to around 230 prisoners in the province, 200 of which are from Canh Nam Prison. This will be the largest amount of prisoners released to date in the province.
Xem TV thêm tin tức hàng ngày đó thì cũng
I watched the news on TV and I heard about the special amnesty. I'm so happy.
Đó thì tôi biết được đó là được đặc xá.
Có được cái tin mà đặc xá của Chủ tịch nước đối với phạm nhân.
For those who are not eligible for special amnesty this time, we have implemented support measures and encouraged them to make more efforts so that they can be reviewed next time.
Để phương hướng tới được giảm án.
The list of prisoners qualified for special amnesty is announced publicly.
The level of transparency has been greatly improved, and therefore it encourages prisoners to strive for better rehabilitation so that they may be considered next year.
The rice markets are reportedly bustling near towns and cities like Cần Thơ, Đồng Tháp, Tiền Giang, and Long An. In the Delta, a normal dried patty is now being sold at 50 to 100 Vietnam dong higher than a week ago, while many others remain the same. The recent rice exports contracts won by some companies forced prices up in late July and spurred the market in the Mekong Delta to farmers' delight. The price increase is also explained by improved rice quality, together with consumer demand temporarily exceeding supply. Now, Hai Lang is an important hub that produces 1/3 of the total rice output for Quảng Trị Central Province. To increase total agricultural production and sustainable development, the commune has applied science, technology, and a new effective model. And we have more to follow.
With more than 2/3 of rice fields located in low areas, Hai Lang's local authorities have invested in building infrastructure, upgrading irrigation systems, and improving natural disaster preparedness.
Since the road and the bridge were built, we can drive our truck into the field. It saved a lot of work.
New varieties of rice were analyzed and planted. To date, 58% of the commune's total rice crops are high quality. In particular, a new model called large field has been implemented. 100% of the rice planted on the large field are new varieties.
This is the second year we have implemented the large field model. It has proven successful. We have higher total output with higher quality. The outlets are secured, so we will expand this model in the future.
Hai Lang also promotes automation applications in the field. Until now, the commune has mechanized 100% of land preparation, 85% of rice harvesting, 100% of rice threshing, and 60% of logistics.
Để mà thực hiện tốt cái đề án tái cơ cấu này á, là đối với cây lúa thì Ủy ban nhân dân huyện là
We will keep investing in infrastructure and technology to raise productivity. We will also work on the outlets for rice production. We hope to expand the large field model to 40 fields by 2020.
Tạo điều kiện là tiêu thụ sản phẩm cho bà con nông dân trên địa bàn huyện.
With awareness on restructuring the agricultural sector and applying technology to production, Hai Lang is a good example for other regions in Vietnam to follow.
A Japanese firm, Hokugang Limited Company, has shown strong interest in buying and processing tuna products in the southern province of Phú Yên, one of Vietnam's largest tuna-producing provinces. Accordingly, the firm expects to build a tuna processing factory on an area of 16,000 square meters with a capacity of 1,800 tons per month. Other facilities to support storage and distribution activities are also included in the project. Phú Yên authorities are helping the firm finalize documents and procedures to officially implement the plan. Producing about 6,000 tons of tuna per year, Phú Yên province is considered a promising venue for seafood investors. Hokugang also wishes to use their funds to further support local fishermen in the central region of Vietnam. A training session on natural disaster prevention and search and rescue activities was organized by the police department in Quảng Bình province last week. This activity was considered the largest in terms of scale in the Central Highlands of Vietnam and helped improve responsiveness in emergency situations for the local police force.
About 150 police officers from 19 provinces in the central region of Vietnam participated in the training course. Various workshops were held to raise awareness on disaster prevention for the local police. The knowledge conveyed in training was realistic and practical. Apart from skills related to controlling rescue vessels, participants also learned new skills for rescuing drowning victims and administering first aid. These skills help the police be more proactive in rescue missions.
The traffic police will directly get involved in rescue activities in emergencies. Therefore, they need to learn these essential skills to be able to perform in real situations. The ultimate goal is to save people's lives in disaster situations, so we prioritize these tasks. The police need to be trained all year, not just before the flood season. We can see that the weather is becoming more and more unpredictable due to climate change. During the recent flood in Quảng Ninh, we used new methods and vehicles to rescue people.
The central highlands of Vietnam are the most severely impacted by climate change. Every year, natural disasters occur with high frequency and cause severe loss of life and property. Therefore, improving rescue skills is necessary in order to limit the damage caused by disasters.
A naval ship number 833 of the Vietnam People's Navy has successfully rescued a distressed ship number BD 97157TS in Vietnam's Trường Sa archipelago. The 12 fishermen on board were returned safely to land, and the boat was also returned to its owner yesterday in Vũng Tàu City. On August the 8th, the fishing ship captained by Trần Kim Trung from Bình Định province was stranded near Đá Thị Island, about 520 nautical miles offshore Vũng Tàu City. After receiving the mayday, the Navy sent ship 833 to the scene and successfully saved the distressed ship and all fishermen on board the following day. Coming up next on VTV News, join us in a ceremony which was held to celebrate the second recognition of Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng National Park as a World Heritage Site. And Vietnamese artists try to modernize gió paper, a traditional material, in their contemporary paintings in order to preserve it. Stay tuned.
Exotic Vietnam is an intriguing blend of many charms. This land is where all manner of stunning landscapes await like a visual feast, rivaled only by the beauty of its people and their abundantly rich tradition and culture. Here is where you can relive the past in richest color or live it up in the bright lights of the big city. With so much more to offer, Vietnam is simply unforgettable.
Welcome back to VTV News. Now, Thừa Thiên Huế Central Province People's Committee held a groundbreaking ceremony on Saturday to start construction on a high-capacity water treatment plant. The event was attended by the People's Committee's Chairman Nguyễn Văn Cao and Japan's Vice Minister of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism Ueno Kenichion. The water treatment plant was built on 9.6 hectares with a capacity of 30,000 cubic meters per day. Once operational, the plant will provide clean water to all of Thừa Thiên Huế City's 1,000 districts. It is also hoped to improve environmental conditions as well as living standards in the area. The water treatment plant is part of a project that aims to solve the clean water shortage in Thừa Thiên Huế City. The project's total investment reaches over $190 million, with 2/3 of this sum coming from Japanese official development assistance. The project is scheduled to run until 2018. Now, Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng National Park in the Central Province of Quảng Bình was recognized for the second time as a World Heritage Site on July the 3rd in Germany. The province held a ceremony on Friday night to celebrate the recognition. The event also kicked off the Province Cave Festival 2015.
due to its display on the evolution of terrestrial ecosystems and its habitat promoting biodiversity conservation. The heritage site met 2 more criteria required for a second form of UNESCO recognition. This honor does not only pertain to the environment in Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng, but also notes the efforts that local authorities and communities have made in the conservation process.
Over the last 12 years, I think we have tried our best in terms of maintaining the conservation process. With this new recognition, we have more responsibility, but we are confident in continuing our efforts.
Dubbed as the world's kingdom of caves, Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng National Park plays an important role in developing the tourism industries in Quảng Bình province. The province expects to receive more than 3 million tourists this year, opening new business opportunities in several sectors.
This is a great opportunity to attract more tourists. We are also seeking a partnership with investors to develop tourism potential in Quảng Bình province.
On this occasion, Quảng Bình province also started the Cave Festival 2015. The festival highlight is Discovery Week, which introduced an array of magnificent caves in the province to domestic and international friends.
Now, Đồng Tháp province in the Mekong Delta region will organize a tourism festival at the Cham Chim National Park on September the 25th. The festival will include a photo exhibition about the national park, a World Ramsar site, which is the wetland of international importance, a bird contest, and tours to view the park during the Delta's flood season. The 7,612-hectare national park is among the Delta's most beautiful destinations during the flood season. It is also one of the country's 8 most important bird conservation areas. It is now home to 198 bird species, including red-headed cranes listed in the World Red Book of Endangered Species. In recent years, volunteers from the Waterwise organization have been raising children's awareness on environmental protection via interesting activities. They believe early education plays an important role in creating green habits. We now visit Đoàn Thị Điểm Primary School in Hanoi to learn more.
A special thing about this class is that this is not teachers, but volunteers who take the stage. By using waste like empty bottles, shoelaces, and some paint, volunteers from the Waterwise organization taught the students how to make their space greener while saving water.
Water drops from bottle to bottle due to gravity. After the plant in the top bottle uses enough water, the water will continue to drop down and deposit in the last bottle. This way we don't have to waste water, and we can reuse water in the bottom bottle.
We focus on raising the awareness of primary and secondary school students, hoping that they will contribute to the environmental protection in the future. It is difficult to change adult habits, so we have to educate students at a young age.
Waterwise projects also teach students how to save energy in their daily lives, recycle waste, and protect wild animals. With support from the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative and the U.S. Embassy in Vietnam, 40 projects on environmental protection have been initiated since 2012. They have raised students' awareness on environmental issues in interesting ways.
I'm really happy with the class. I will tell my family what I have learned so we can protect the environment. We find this project very interesting and informative. After this project, we will have the 4th and the 5th graders share what they have learned with the 1st and the 2nd graders.
The project has directly delivered a message on the importance of the environment to the students, with hopes that they will pass this knowledge on to their families. It is also a foundation for the students to prove their abilities and continue working on larger social projects in the future.
A gió paper is made from the bark of the gió tree. It is a feature of Vietnamese folk art and the traditional material used for đồng hồ paintings. This type of paper has recently gone out of style. However, some Vietnamese artists have tried to modernize gió paper in their contemporary paintings in order to preserve this tradition. And well, let's join them.
The disadvantage of gió paper is that it is soft and light, and therefore the watercolor is easily blurred. However, Vietnamese artists creatively make use of this disadvantage in order to blend colors in their paintings. By blending typical colors of đồng hồ paintings on gió paper, the artist has created unique imagery which radiates Vietnam's soul.
Unlike oil paintings, I'm very careful when blending colors on gió paper. Thanks to the soft and light characteristic of gió paper, I can mix many colors to create a bright and slightly glittering background.
At the exhibition, gió paper is used for many types of art painting styles. It drew the attention of foreign artists who were attracted by gió paper's unique quality.
Mà chỉ có giấy gió mới thể hiện được cái sự mốc của thời gian, cái khác biểu hiện rất khó.
Unlike other type of papers, gió paper helps artists show the imprint of time on their paintings.
Cái mốc thời gian nó phủ lên đấy. Nếu mà một cái tranh sơn mài có thể cong vênh.
As compared with lacquer paintings, gió paper surface is smooth regardless of the impact of weather. Youngsters need to learn how to bring traditional materials like gió paper into their paintings.
With endless creativity, these artists are working to keep gió paper alive in the face of change by modernizing traditional materials to promote contemporary art.
Up next, we will look at the highlights of this week's news in our this week's edition of Week in Review.
Bangladesh President Abdul Hamid paid his official visit to Vietnam on August the 10th at the invitation of State President Trương Tấn Sang. The welcoming ceremony was held the same day at the Presidential Palace in Hanoi. At talks following the reception, the two presidents expressed their delight at the continued growth in relations between the two countries. Both sides also shared economic development experiences, notably in agriculture and human resources, and discussed regional and global issues of shared concern. President Sang and his guests agreed to elevate two-way trade turnover to $1 billion in 2016. The two state leaders expressed their conviction that this visit would contribute to fortifying the traditional friendship between the two nations.
Vietnam and China convened a fifth strategic defense dialogue in Hanoi from August the 10th to the 14th, aiming to narrow differences and create strategic trust for the friendship between the two armies and peoples. The event was co-chaired by Deputy Defense Minister, Senior Lieutenant General Nguyen Chi Vinh, and Deputy Chief of the General Staff of the China People's Liberation Army, Sun Jia-guo. Both sides discussed developments in each country, the region and the world, as well as issues related to defense and security. The Strategic Defense Dialogue has become an annual event between the two nations since 2010.
The Chief Judge of Vietnam Supreme People's Court, Trương Hòa Bình, on Monday welcomed U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was on a 5-day visit to Vietnam to meet with members of the Supreme People's Court of Vietnam and attend a series of public events. At the meeting, Chief Judge Trương Hòa Bình expressed his delight at discussing with Justice Ginsburg issues relating to social equality, human rights and equal access to the courts. He expected the two sides to enhance information sharing to improve transparency in procedural and legal activities. Justice Ginsburg told the host about the organization of the U.S. Supreme Court, such as procedures, conditions of appeal, and the court rulings.
The ASEAN Women's Circle of Hanoi was inaugurated in Hanoi on August the 11th. The circle brings together the wives of diplomats of ASEAN nations, along with representative agencies of regional countries in Hanoi. This is considered a significant step towards the realization of the bloc's common goals. Addressing the event, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Phạm Bình Minh stressed that women have continually played a critical role in the establishment of the ASEAN community and the implementation of the post-2015 ASEAN vision and common goals. He expressed his hope that the circle would conduct diverse and practical activities to boost mutual support, understanding and the friendship of the ASEAN community. The launch coincides with the 48th anniversary of ASEAN and the 20th year of Vietnam's ASEAN membership.
The State Bank of Vietnam, or SBV, announced the adjustment of the exchange rate band on August the 12th from plus minus 1% to plus minus 2%. The average interbank Vietnamese dong US dollar exchange rate is 21,673 Vietnamese dong, with a ceiling rate of 21,106 Vietnamese dong and a floor rate of 21,240 dong. In the first half of the year, the SBV adjusted the average interbank exchange rate on January the 7th and May the 7th. The decision is due to unpredictable factors in the global economy. The most influential factor is said to be the devaluation of the Chinese yuan on Tuesday. Given the huge trade turnover between Vietnam and China, the devaluation will have a negative impact on Vietnam's economy.
The Thăng Long Cup, Vietnam's first international traditional martial arts championship, kicked off on August 9th in Hanoi. The largest ever event of its kind brought together 50 martial arts teams from 30 countries around the globe. In the competition, martial arts athletes compete in 5 categories in 19 weight classes, 10 for male and 9 for female competitors. The traditional martial arts are highly popular among Vietnamese people as a way to stay physically healthy and mentally focused, as a self-defense technique.
And now it's time to check out our weather updates. And the weather forecast has just concluded our bulletin for this hour. Simply visit our websites at vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4go for more news and updates. Thank you for being here with us, and goodbye for now.